All right, so it's the second video of the owl sitting on a skull. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve the skull on my own time. I won't film, and then we'll do the details of the owl and get this piece done. I'll also be working on these pumpkins too. I said in the first video this is maple, my least favorite wood to carve, but the hard part's done. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is on the first video, I said I wasn't gonna carve talons on this guy because you don't need to carve the talons if you don't want to. But I figured I have the room, so I will. So let's see here. All I'm gonna do is draw. They're just gonna be like the tips of the talons. Most of the talons are gonna his feet are gonna be sitting underneath them. So I just kind of draw a line here like that. Can you see that line? Oh boy, gotta pull out one of my felts. So you always sew your beak, right? You got your beak here. Put your center line in. Then you're just gonna see little tips of his talons. That's it, to give it the effect. So I got to remove some wood below these talons. That's what wood carving is removing, not adding. So I'll remove these woods so this sticks up higher, and I'll get this skull. My skull, I'm not the best at doing small carvings like this. I'd say this is more just carve Rob's game. But it's nice. You can relax and do it. That's why it's kind of funny the back of the head. It's this part kind of looks funny to me. Maybe you could take off some more wood here, but people aren't going to be looking at the back of this piece. They're going to be looking at the piece like this, right? So just trying to give you guys some ideas. So another thing too with my skulls, so like there will be no bottom jaw on this skull. Another thing too with my skulls, I always have a problem. One of my errors is I always make the heads, like this is up here, I always make mine too small. So on this one, I'm going to try and make it so like the head is bigger, the forehead. And it's not going to, I wish it could look like this. Here's a shout out to the wood psych. He carved a skull in a snake's mouth on a walking stick. I'll leave his YouTube channel listed below, the wood psych. He's a much slower carver than I am. He even uses a Dremel stylo. I laugh when I see him using that stylo, but it's fine. It's like that's what he uses. That's what he uses, right? Like it works for him. I guess he enjoys using the tool, so that's perfectly cool. So he's a much slower carver. He takes his time and he does a great job. I love his carvings. There is you can tell wood site carving is his carving um, on his own. So use what tool. Like for me, the stylo, I think that thing is just it just doesn't. I'm not going to sit here and talk really bad about it like I have on some of my videos before because I talked about the wood psych and he uses it. But for me, that tool does not work. I'm just too way too heavy hands, and I keep stalling it out. But anyways, go over check out the wood psych if you don't know him on YouTube. And I'll get these feet blocked out, and then I'll get the skull carved in, and then we'll pull out the wood burner and start doing some detail on this owl here. It's also one of the videos I said I was chainsaw carving and put some carvings in spirit trails. I says I'm going back to work. Well, I am going back to work. I tried to go back today to plug in for tomorrow, but there was no pre-dispatch, so I'm still going to be making videos, just maybe not every single day. That's that. Sorry, one other thing. I'm not filming carving this skull because I need to practice my skulls and I need to just kind of focus on practicing them. And when you're doing these little small pumpkins or even chainsaw carving pumpkins, you can see the wood's cracked here. So make that crack like you can see there's a crack here. Well, not a crack, but a bump. But I'll carve deeper here and then round that off. Use the cracks to your advantage, right? Then you could put the face of the pumpkin where there's no cracks. Let's see here. Like this one, there's a crack right here, so I'll carve that in, and I'll round it off that crack. Then see, there was another one here, and I already started rounding it. See what I mean? Because then you can hide the cracks. Anyways, carry on. Well, his head's taller. Whatever. Whatever. It still says it's a skull. I spent a lot more time on these pumpkins than that silly little skull, telling myself, ooh, 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 telling myself, Jordy, what are you doing carving maple? Sign your pieces. So those are done, ready for paint. Yep, friggin' nightmare. Anyways, now back to this silly thing. This is the wood burner that I use. I got the most expensive wood burner out there, the digital thing. But this is the one that I choose to use. You can get this on Amazon. This one heats up super fast. I like this one because I crank this thing. Maybe I won't crank it on this owl, but I crank this on like because different woods burn at different things. So like when I'm burning cottonwood bark, it doesn't burn that good with these, so I crank it up and then I burn it. But this basswood burns super good with this, so I'll turn it down. But this is a I like this one. I know I'm getting carried away here. I like this one because it's got the big foam grip, and it takes a lot to overheat in your hand. All right. And when you buy this, you get a bunch of different bits too. So I just put a new bit on. I got this bit on. It's cheap. This is a Chinese one. It's in my Amazon store. Maybe I'll put a link below. And it works great for me. I don't know what it's called. GIHUA 9392. So you don't need expensive wood burner. The one that I got, the expensive one, is the digital razor tip, but this does the trick. So now I gotta burn the details in the owl. Okay, so I suggest to do this in a well ventilated area. I got a fan sucking the smoke up. Um, what I'm gonna do with this wood burner is go around all on the different areas. So the wing is a different area than the body. This beak flapper thing is a different area than the body. The beak is a different area than the flapper thing. Like I'm gonna go underneath these eye things and burn it to separate things, right? So here's the wing, for example, separate it. And these little talons, I'm gonna go down in here around the talons too. Then I'll try and figure out some kind of pattern or something. Or you can just do little lines on here. This whole thing's going to be burnt. This is such a small piece. I gotta. I'll figure something out to do with the eyes, but I really don't care. Okay, so let's turn this on. It's plugged in. Let's wait for it to heat up a bit. There you go. See how fast it gets hot. Just separate the. This is something that I should be doing. I'm going to do most of this off camera because I can do a better job when I'm not filming. So, like for example, there's the wing thing cut burned in there. You got to separate the owl from the skull. Whenever I'm filming, I always kind of feel like I'm rushed. But once you get yourself, like I said, this is a cheap wood burner. Did I say that I'll leave a link to it under my video? Yes, it is my Amazon store. If you guys buy this wood burner, I don't know how much it is, like $60 or something. I'll probably make like 30 cents. So, and then I'll burn inside the skull's eyes. And let's do this wing here too. So I got this cranked up full blast right now, but I won't have it full blast for the whole thing. For example, here's the wings where they tuck into each other. So you just put a burn in there. I'm not going to paint this owl. I could, but that's not really my thing, painting these little um, carvings. Just Carve Rob loves to paint his, like you guys see his little owl. And that owl that I showed you of Just Carve Rob's years old. Like he's really upped his game for his little caricatures carvings. And also when you're doing the wood burning, say if you wanted to paint this where I'm tapping and the wings a different color, this wood burning creates a ditch so the paint doesn't bleed up into the wings. Say if I was painting this, say red, and I was painting the wings brown, the red wouldn't bleed up into the wing because doing this wood burning makes it stop. So, um, okay, let's do under here. What's this called? I don't know. There's a name for it where they you can use it for shading and everything too, right? So this is where you got to be careful by that beak. And then this, I'll just do like little lines coming down. So the more time that you spend on this, separate that beak from the, you guys see? The more time that you guys spend on the wood burning part, I think your piece is going to be a lot better. It kind of ups your game for carving, especially for these small little, um, what do you call them? Caricatures? Not characters, but caricatures. I can never say the name properly. So, there's kind of your basic idea. You guys can take it from there. And let's see here. See how that starts building it? Okay, so I'm gonna finish this off, and like I can't even do teeth. No, I'll do that off camera. But I'm gonna finish this off camera so I can listen to some music and kind of concentrate and just enjoy my time. And that's what it's about, really, is enjoying your time when you're doing a carving or craft that you love to do. Thing looks like kind of a parrot to me, or one of those little lovebirds. Anyways, like a lovebird from this angle. Like I said earlier, I could take some of this wood off, but screw it. Whew. Okay, that was lots of wood burning, and I'm still not done yet. I would say, see, he's got little eyes under there. Ben's studio on the lake. He hasn't been making much videos lately. He's been busy, I guess. I haven't spoke to him, but he knows how to do like real bird hairs because he does lots of he used to do lots of the competition birds, so he knows how. He's probably the best wood burner um, video channel that I watch doing the birds. So, anyways, you can see here how I cut the wings in. I just did a little cut and overlapped each layer. This what I'm going to do next is get my wood burner, do a deep burn under each layer. Okay, and then for the top one, I'm going to go across. I'm going to go across. Let's see here. This way, little loops. Then this one, I'm just going to go down this way, like feathers. then this one this way too. I could carve like lines like this, like down here, to separate the feathers, but I'm kind of getting done with this piece. I think I'm gonna have to. Oh well, there's the hint that I'm gonna make a base for this with moss and stuff like that. Um, maybe I should. I'm thinking about making a skull base and putting a couple lights on it, so the light shines up on the owl, and then cover the skull, just like a quick carve of it. It will kind of be like a skull mountain kind of deal, just for Halloween time, and put some lights in the eyes of the skull and have like moss on it and stuff. It doesn't end. It's just your imagination, everybody. Open up your imagination, and you can see here for the top, I went different ways, and then I blended it out like that. So when you look at it, like I said, not too many people's going to be looking at the back of this piece, but when you look at it that way, anyways, woo woo woo. I'll do a little bit of burning here. So is this thing turned on? Yep. So deep burn under here. Whoa, where's my line? Okay. Then I'm just going to do little things this way. Just to separate the texture. Well, slow down, Jordy. I'm trying to do little loops, but I'm rushing it. Like little feathered patterns. You see, like little, just Rob carved here. He did like little diamonds, kind of like dragon scales. He carved them. So you can also carve them too. Just practice new things, I say. And have fun when you're doing it. So you can see there's some there. I think the more that you do, the better it's going to look. Then this one, get some more burn underneath there. And then I'm just going to come down like this. Don't forget to get the little fronts too. And then I'll do the same with this one. I'll burn under here. Right? There's a big burn under there. And then I'll just put all the little feathers in down here. I like to mix them up. Like I don't want to go like all the way across here, then all the way across here. I just kind of like doing different patterns. Then let it sit in there and burn a little bit more for. I remember old video Ben did. He would like do the things, then he'd come back and cross them a bit. But if you guys want to know how to be a good wood burner for birds and stuff like that, go over to Ben's Studio on the Lakes channel. He's got lots of videos up how to do it. I know Larry Dibbs, he's got the razor tip. His channel's Wowzy's Workshop. And I better have said that correctly. Wowzy's Workshop. He did a nice, him and his wife did a nice gnome. She did some mushrooms and Larry did a nice gnome. He did some wood burning and then he painted it. Looked pretty nice. Wowzy's Workshop. He gets mad at me he doesn't get mad, but he corrects me when I say it wrong. Anyways, whoo, 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 whoo. All right, so there it is, all done. Man, that took a long time to wood burn that. Why I'm going to make a base for this is because, well, since I had to carve, oh, don't forget to sign your pieces, everybody. I had to take some of that bottom off to make it kind of look like a alien skull. So what you can do now is Ben does it, just Carve Rob does it. I think get some steel wool and you can clean this up, but I don't want to because like when you do the wood burning, it burns outside the burn. But if I do that, I'll realize all the spots that I missed, and I'll have to do more wood burning. And I'm just completely sick of it. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of it doing that. So, but I don't have steel wool here, but I got some Scotch-Brite. So I'm gonna kind of, I think maybe just kind of actually let's put the camera in the overhead. I think I'm just gonna kind of do the top here a little bit, see how the highlights are coming out. Well, do around the eyes too, the bottoms, how you get the highlights. So everything's just not bland in the same color. Oh yeah, he's got little breather holes too. This bird owl, lovebird owl. We might as well let's just go for it a little bit. Let's get around these wings so they'll highlight a bit. Clean up the skull a bit. I think that's good. Good enough. See how you get the highlights in there now? Silly little hooter. Uh-oh. Look at all that spot there. I missed it. I forgot to burn. Right in here. Anyways, I'll get that done. I'm gonna Mod Podge this. Mod Podge. Mod Podge. Shit bounce. Okay. So I got this matte Mod Podge, whatever you friggin' call it, I don't care. In a little cup and a paintbrush here, and I'm just gonna get this all on here, let it dry, and we will finish this video. You could paint the beak black, but actually I like this beak this time, so I'll get this all done and finish her off. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this one. Things I would have done differently if I didn't put the finish on it. I would have straightened that back out so it's not like this. I'm happy with it. It's a funny little piece. I would have taken these parts down more too, like closer to the eyes. They don't need to be that high up. Definitely, I think it looked better without the finish on it. This is definitely an indoor piece, so you do not have to put a finish on your indoor pieces, everybody. You don't even have to put a finish on your outdoor pieces. They just won't last that long. So there's that. Silly little, it is a fluffer. It's a fat owl. It's fat. It's a fluffer, I think. Fluffer Galaxy Owl. I also finished the pumpkins. I did a black wash on them after I painted them orange, and I sprayed it with Rust-Oleum clear coat. Gave them a black wash. So my next video before I have to go back to work is going to be these pumpkins. Also, do you guys think I should make a base for this? Maybe I'll just make something really simple, nothing too, because really I don't love this piece. But I think it would be neat to have a base where a little base in it, like can light up at nighttime or something. Just something pretty simple, nothing too crazy. Yeah, I'll make a base for it. Just kind of like my other base for the pumpkin spirit pole that I did. Pumpkin totem. Um, these you guys can see here that I hollowed the tops out of these pumpkins. Yeah, I already signed them. So there's a look. I kind of gave it some green paint there too. I just like it when the pumpkins look dirty, not so brand new. This one's better. I guess a clear coat. This maple wood actually, it was bone dry, and this like it was hardwood to carve, but the maple just sucks in the paint so fast, and I guess it's got really open pores or something. I'm not too sure. But what we're gonna do on a video is I did some a few years back. I don't know if I did any last year, but this is epoxy sculpt. So you got the like part A and part B. You mix it together, then you can shape it, and it hardens kind of like epoxy. It doesn't. I don't. It doesn't harden as hard as epoxy. Here's a piece that I've, because some people were asking a few years ago, is this stuff carvable? Yeah, it's carvable. So here's a piece that's I've had around for, I don't know, at least 2 years. Maybe I'll carve a wood spirit on this in the video where I'm gonna make the stock for this pumpkin, and I'll also try to incorporate some leaves, a leaf or maybe one leaf on each one. So the stalk will come down here. It'll be green and yellow, and yeah, and then maybe I'll carve this on that video too. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow is the epoxy sculpt. Carve a little wood spirit in this piece, and yeah, that's it, everybody. So, you know, along the way, I hope you learned something about carving owls, the face, basically, how to get that beak. I also wish I would have carved where my finger's tapping now lower, like right above the beak, because if I carve that deeper, then you can get that beak to be more round. But that's okay. It's a silly little owl sitting on a skull. What do you expect? It's Halloween time. So until the epoxy sculpt video and a base for this, that's going to be it for this one, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good, doing your Halloween and Christmas carvings. You make a lot more money at Christmas time than you do at Halloween time for carving. So that tree video, if you guys can make those trees, you can make a lot of money. So this stuff's just kind of, it's fun. It's fun to do. And they also make great gifts too. So Carving Fusion, over and out.